Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of a hand or a fist, but we're going to use some different levels of crosshatch to help illustrate this particular sketch. So we're going to start off with, I think it might be beneficial to make a fingers first view of a fist. Now we have other videos which have featured closed fist from different angles, but this is yet another different angle. So you could start by putting a bell shape if you like, or this shape is also fine, and that is of course the wrist. And we go on and put in two ovals. One will of course be instrumental in bringing the thumb to life, so we are also of course doing a quick anatomy practice here, and we always maintain that we need to do framework, and when it comes to thumb fingers we often do sausages, and it's an easy way to go about it. So 1 and 2, and then we go on to the finger set here. So the knuckles should be falling somewhere here, so always coming down like that, unless we have a really foreshortened perspective on the remainder of the fingers and a bigger perspective of the small finger. The knuckles usually go like that, so low, highest, and then coming down to the lowest again. And then we put in 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So you saw like this was a little more straight than the spider legs or hooks that we put here. That is because at that angle it will show going like that way more. So to round this off, we will grab ourselves a black pen. See if we can put in some quick core. So there's our nail, there's skin folds. Now every hand is different. Usually this part is a little more like sticking out, like there's the bone of the thumb going here, and it's like that in most cases. And then we have like details again to work with here. Coming back, that's the back of the hand, and then we go into the knuckle set. So we can put that right out and then work along the fingers. Now again, we should do sausages. It's easier. 1, 2, 1, 2. Since you know that's all we can see. 1, 2. The last digit is folded inward like that, so we cannot see it. And 1 and 2. Then we quickly draw along those lines, and of course there will always be variations of how we put these out. And I think that's about it for a for one particular closed fist. Now, of course, there's always variations whereby the thumb can be smaller in certain hands, the finger sets might be bigger, but those are, again, ranges that we work with, and that may vary from hand to hand. That knuckle is a little too low here. This knuckle is here, sorry. And then we go into the back of the hand. So now we start working with our crosshatch. And the crosshatch implies that we will work with the same fine point pen here and see if we can put in some commendable crosshatch into the thumb. So we always maintain that crosshatch is best along the shape of the certain object. But again, that does not mean that there are no variations. Right now we are going along with the flow, trying to just put in some crosshatch. Now this area is like round like that, so we are trying to apply a crosshatch along that shape, but it always works better when we have a crisscrossing tone in something like a hand, because it gives it a more, how should I put it, a more gritty and more raw feel when we are doing that, because the hands necessarily are not necessarily going to be like smooth and fine when we work crosshatch into them. It's easier here because we are concentrating a set of lines that can be very detailed, very intricate, but we do not need them to be, because the core of the shadow falls across this area. So even if we fill some in like this, it will still work. It will still work for us. But here, now we are going like that to apply a crisscrossing crosshatch. And I mean, the cleaner it is, the better it is. And then every other line that we have here, for instance, we can have just like that, like lines going so we can have lines going back and forth, and we can put as many as we want. And it's a in between, if we have some lines like that, that's fine, but it's always good to go with the entire setup of the crosshatch that we are trying to work into the illustration. So that means that tiny little points, tiny little strokes put together would have a better and more pleasing aesthetic about it. So we go and put that same crosshatch flow along the round of the hand here, and then transition into a crisscross here. Make sure that we have some crisscross here too. And then of course, now everything doesn't have to be the same, because we are having a light source, let's say hitting the hand like that. So this portion, to start off, denser tones in this area, this portion can be more crisscrossed than that, and that makes for a more realistic crosshatch variation. Now we're doing this in real time, and you could see that it is achievable in shorter time frame if we are doing this as exercise, like as an illustration to work out some method, some details. And then we come to the fingers. And so we concentrate on the knuckles. Again, knuckles round, essentially. So we're going along with the flow like that, and then imply crisscross, crosshatch, come down here to the flatter, through the flatter end, and then you can crosshatch like that. The knuckle sticks out. We could go around it like that, and then straighter tones again along the finger with crisscrossing tones to round it off. And then here we can just go like that because the finger like turns, so we are doing that. You could leave it like that, or you could apply crisscross tones there as well. Like they both work. And then of course we will have to eventually like balance everything. Balance means that certain tones might appear as if they're like running into each other, so we will have to, perhaps, for instance, here there's a shadow cast off that finger, and we can concentrate some more tone work here. Like that is basically the gist of it. And we can use that same methodology on the same method across these fingers, but here we are going to try something different too. Instead of like going like this, just to vary the crosshatch. See, this is like that, this is like that. So we are trying this here, and then implying one stroke like that, and then implying crisscrossing tones like that and like that. And look at, so we have a different sort of outcome for this guy here. And then we just polish off the knuckle here with some strokes, little strokes like that. And then we are going to pretty much, with some variations, go into each finger, and we're going to speed up the video here and keep going until we finish off the remainder of the fingers. And then we go back and round this off by putting any additional tones where we want to. And it's very easy to fix elements when it comes to ink and crosshatch, because although we have mentioned this before in a different video, we do remember, but we will repeat. It's very important that ink is that kind of medium, just like oil paint. It has that flexibility, like, although like it's not flexible, like whatever has been put on paper in ink has been put on. Like we cannot, normally we can't like change it, but we can always work around to make things like denser. We cannot make things lighter, but by making things denser, more filled in select areas, we can have different effects going and change the outcome of that illustration. So quick exercise there in a crosshatch, crisscross tone crosshatch hand. We will be doing more videos with this method, and it's very, very common. It's a method that you will come to appreciate if you're not already using it. And of course, it's a lot of fun. So please do try it out. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, keep in touch, and have yourself a wonderful day.